Hey guys, welcome to Friday morning. It's the end of the week. I hope you've had a fantastic week and are in for a tremendous weekend. We've been looking at that incredible saga in the book of Genesis of Isaac and his two sons, Jacob and Esau. We read how Isaac, this wealthy man who had so much laid up as treasure for his son Esau, very stupidly sold his birthright to his son Jacob, and Jacob went on the run. And Jacob went down to the river, he wrestled with God, he overcame because he realized he couldn't battle against the sovereignty of God, and you win when you lose. But now we find that Jacob comes face to face with his brother, and his whole thing is he's fearful, he's nervous, he's been through the river, he's now limping, he's not in a particularly happy place, but he persists in the mission. You see, the mission was simply this: to ask for forgiveness of his brother for what he had done many years before. And I think that's probably one of the greatest tests that we all have to pass. We all have to ask for forgiveness from time to time. So many of us presume it. We just pick up and say, oh, well, that's just me. I'm allowed to get away with this thing because that's how I am. And I hurt people, and I can go through life tramping on people and offending people. And I think it's okay, because it's only okay because it's me that is doing it. But there comes a time in our lives where we have to sit down and we have to take stock of the people around us. Maybe we need to think and say, who have I hurt? Who have I offended? Because when we walk like this, we walk in a clear relationship with God. We have a clear conscience. When we have the courage and a kick in the pants to go and ask forgiveness from the people that we have hurt or offended, we play it down, and we'd expect other people to come to us and to ask us to forgive them for what they've done. One of the greatest tests of spirituality and relationship with Jesus is our ability to ask forgiveness of those who we've hurt. Now, we all know the Lord's Prayer says we need to ask God for forgiveness, and our relationship with Him is clarified, is cleared, is redeemed at that particular point. Might I suggest, people, the same applies to the people around us. Now, in this story, he fought through everything. He fought through the wrestling in the brook. He fought through his fear of what his big brother was going to do to him. He fought through so many different circumstances, and he brought a peace offering to his brother because he realized at the end of the day, I have to stop running. I'm running not just from him, I'm running from a guilty conscience. I've lost my peace, I've lost my joy, and I can't get on with myself. I don't like me anymore. Well, one of the steps to liking you is to get your relationship with those around you in a right position. We need to redeem those relationships, and we do it same way we do with God. We ask forgiveness. Now, in the beautiful story here, he comes to his brother, and his brother runs to greet him. Esau was waiting. Esau too wanted to reconcile with his brother, and I think you may find the same thing, that people who we have offended are so willing to come to us and to restore the relationship with us. They just are waiting for that moment of honesty, that test of integrity to be passed as we pass the test of asking for forgiveness. Guys, this is a really big deal. I phoned somebody a little while back who I knew I had offended some time before, and they picked up the phone, and I told them who I was again. They knew exactly who I was. And I said to them, do you recall an event that took place a little while back? Well, I spoke very harshly to you, and I need to ask you to forgive me for what I did. You know what happened on the other side? The guy burst into tears, and he said, Trevor, thank you. That is all that I have been waiting for. People, let's do this. Let's do this. Ask God to bring to mind people that you may have hurt or offended, and then you go out there, you initiate. This is one of the greatest tests of spirituality. Businessmen, reconcile with those who you may have hurt. You know, husbands, reconcile with wives, even if it's a wife from a previous marriage. Wives, reconcile with husbands. Parents, reconcile with kids. Do it, because the relief and the joy is worth it. The peace returns, the joy is reestablished, and you sleep very well at night with a clear conscience. It just takes courage and maybe a bit of a kick in the pants to get this thing done. Everybody wants somebody to, forgive them, or or they feel they need forgiveness, or they need to forgive somebody else. That's probably what I'm trying to say. And they'll sit there and say, well, I'm only going to have to restore with him when he asks for a pardon, when he asks for forgiveness. We never base our forgiveness upon an apology. You know that. But it doesn't mean we don't give the apology when we need to. So I'm asking you on this Friday morning that before the end of the weekend, you've got to set a time limit to this thing, that you will have done what you need to do. If you leave this till next week, it's unlikely you're going to do it. You've got to do it, and you've got to do it soon. Watch the peace flood back into your soul at this particular point. Courage, and this is the kick in the pants. Let's go and do it, guys. I want you to ponder this as you listen to this beautiful, beautiful song. Have a great day and an awesome weekend. Cheers.
I stand amazed in the presence of Jesus the Nazarene, and wonder how he could love me, a sinner condemned unclean. He took my sin. He took my sin and my sorrows. He made them his very own. He bore the burden to Calvary and suffered and died alone. Let's lift it up. We're singing, how marvelous, how wonderful that my song shall ever be. How marvelous, how wonderful is my Savior's love for me. Let's sing the part that says, he took my sin and my sorrows again. He took my sin and my sorrows. He made them his very own. He bore the burden to Calvary and suffered and died alone. We're singing, how marvelous, how wonderful that my song shall ever be. Singing, how marvelous, how wonderful is my Savior's love for me. We're singing, how marvelous, how wonderful that my song shall ever be. Singing, how marvelous, how wonderful is my Savior's love for me. When with the ransomed in glory, his face I at last shall see. 'Twill be my joy through the ages to sing